In this week's Torah portion, Jacob is alone when an angel wrestles with him. And after Jacob overcomes the angel, he gets a blessing from him, and that his name should be Israel. But the question is, what was Yaakov doing alone that the angel was able to find him in a vulnerable position and attack him? And Rashi quotes the rabbis who explain that Yaakov was with his family, but suddenly he was alone because he went back to the last campsite because he had left some pots and pans there, and he went to retrieve them. And the question that Rashi wonders is, why would he bother going back to the last campsite by himself to retrieve some pots and pans? Jacob was a wealthy man. Why did he need some pots and pans? And our rabbis explain that to the righteous, their possessions and their money is precious. And he was willing to return even for a few pots and pans. Why? Because they earn every penny honestly. And because they earned it without any trace of dishonesty or theft, therefore they value all of their possessions. Matter of fact, the Talmud says that when a person dies and they come to heaven, God asks them 4 questions. And the first question, which obviously is the most important question, was, were you honest in all of your business dealings? Imagine that. God doesn't ask you about whether you ate kosher or whether you kept Shabbat, although that's very important. But the most important thing God wants to know is, were you honest in business? They tell a story about this boy who went to a summer camp, and the mother calls one day upset. She says, I sent my son with a towel, and during swimming, some child stole my son's towel. And what kind of a camp are you running that kids steal from other kids? And the mother's furious. And the camp director says, calm down, man. Maybe it was misplaced. Maybe it got lost. Well, look around for it. Tell me, what kind of a towel was it? How can I identify it? And she said, well, it was a big white towel, and it had the word Hilton Hotels right across it. Sometimes we don't realize that we are not completely honest in all of our interactions. And therefore our rabbis tell us that, like Jacob, we have to be scrupulous in making sure that all of our possessions were earned honestly and truthfully. And by doing that, we can treasure and cherish each one of them, because they're not just material things. They represent a way of life, of following the ethical and moral standards and guidances of the Torah. Have a wonderful day.